A classy tank move. Make it look like you are trying, but then don't. Hello, folks. Welcome to our Power Tankings just before mid-season for the NFL. We're going to be ranking the teams that are tanking, and we're going to do it from 9 to 1. So let's get into it. Coming in at number 9, we're going to have the Carolina Panthers. And I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. They're the last place team in the league. How are they all the way down at 9 for the power tanking? And that's because they don't get their own overall first round pick. So what's the point of tanking? They have no reason to be tanking. They have no reason to be as bad as they are. They're just terrible. They just suck. So even on the scale of how bad can you suck, they suck the worst. So the Panthers will be at number 9. Number 7, I'm going to have the Broncos. They just got a win over Green Bay, which is edging them out of the possibility of getting a really super solid, super high pick. They really shouldn't be tanking either. They spent all that money on Russell Wilson, and quite frankly, they should be doing a lot better. They had a much better defense last year. That just went down the pooper, and quite frankly, they have no reason to be tanking overall. They're going to be stuck with the Russell Wilson trade for a while. That's going to destroy their cap. They're not doing a very good job. This isn't something that they should be rebuilding as hard as they are, so they're going to be stuck at number 8. Number 6, Green Bay. I was tempted to put them at 7 instead of the Broncos, but losing to the Broncos is a very classy tank move, let me tell you what. Really edges you into the real contending. They have Jordan Love, and I think he's going to need a little bit more time to ferment, but it's going to be a little risky for them to need a number 1 overall pick when you should already have your quarterback. The mismanagement on this team has been kind of crazy for the past several years. Packers, I'm just not sure what you're doing. You should be contending in this league right now, but you're just not. I think the Packers are just really bad. If they got a really high draft pick, I'm not even completely sure what they would do. Maybe they would use it on a quarterback. They could use that, but their team really needs to get into a rebuild mode. But I don't think they're going to be in an actual rebuild mode until next year. Oh, I guess a draft pick will help, but for now, they're going to be at number 6. Don't forget to subscribe to TSST. At number 5, I'm going to have the Patriots. Yes, they're definitely tanking. However, I think it's mostly because Bill Belichick should not be a general manager and a coach. They had to get that win in against the Bills, though. He can't let that divisional opponent get away from him. So because of that, we kind of screwed the pooch a little bit on trying to get a high draft pick. So I think that they're not tanking well enough. Mac Jones, I'll tell you what, is not the answer. So they could really use a high draft pick to get themselves a new quarterback. They really need it. I really think the Pats are in this to get themselves at least a high draft pick. So they are a contender in the power tanks. At number 4, we're going to have the Giants, another team that really should do better. They were anticipated to do better. They had 4 primetime games in the first 6 weeks of the season, which is disgusting, and they suck. Somehow they almost beat the Bills, a classy tank move. Make it look like you are trying, but then don't. But realistically, they've paid Jones all that money. So much money. They're supposed to be doing better, but they're not anymore. So they're in this by just straight ignorance. Other teams are supposed to be doing better and not having picks, but I mean, the Giants are just so in it. It's disgusting. So yeah, the Giants will be at number 4. Number 3, I'm going to have the Titans. They haven't been happy with Tannehill for quite some time. They got rid of A.J. Brown a couple years ago, and he's doing absolutely excellently. They're an inconsistent team this year, but one thing is for sure, they are not getting the W's where they need to. So I really think that they are going to be in a full rebuild mode going forward. They could really use a high draft pick. I don't think they're going to overall as an organization concentrate on winning very much this year. So unfortunately, Titans fans, after several years of dominance, you're in the tank bowl. Number 2, we're going to have the Cardinals. They came out of the gun trying to tank this year. They were the original tank team this year. Everyone said they were going to tank, and then they started hanging in there just a little bit. Got a nice win over the Cowboys. Made us all think, maybe we're wrong about these little birdies. We're not. Kyler Murray, not playing currently. Kyler Murray, also really not that good in my opinion. He's a pretty overrated quarterback. They gave him a big contract and had to include in it that he needs mandatory film review time. If you're going to pay an elite NFL player a whole bunch of money and they don't want to do review, they don't want to watch film to the extent you need to put it in their contract. I've never heard of another contract having mandatory film review time. So, yeah, the Cardinals are definitely in a spot where they need to start moving on from a few pieces. They need to really get things going again. They are in this tank bowl. They're going to keep a top 3 spot in the power tankings, I think, for the entire season. We'll see how it keeps going. They do have a little bit of class of at least making it look good, you know? So, good for you, Cardinals. You're doing a good job. At number 1, we have to have the Bears. I mean, they're tanking so well. They're tanking with another tank. They get the Panthers' first-round pick. And they're doing terribly. They could potentially get the number 1 and number 2 overall pick. My God, it's a beautiful act of beauty. All the hype going into the year. Oh, this is the year that's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. They knew what they were doing. They were ready to tank so that next year they're like, oh, we said that about them last year. And they really do a little bit of a rebuild in the offseason, get themselves those 2 high draft picks. I mean, they're going to have 2 draft picks in the top 5. Yeah, so that's going to be awesome for them. So next year, I actually think they're going to be a real contender. I think they know what they're doing as an organization. So, yeah. The number 1 power tank goes to the Bears. Well, this is a new video I'm trying out. I'm not going to do one every single week, but I'm thinking every few weeks I might check in on the power tankings. Please let me know what you think about this video in the comments so I know to do some more. Give me a little critique if you want to. That's fine. And until next time, have a good day.